right now. So
We
hey
are
guys,
live.
we are live. We're real. We didn't see you last week because I was in Florida, and
Catching the Delta.
I was not. Don't say shit like that. Now everyone's oh my god, Jim's got the Delta variant. We can't even watch him on Facebook because he's going to give it to us.
I'm not making fun of it.
I you
It's
know
serious.
the what we were saying before we jumped on here was that it's it it's gotten to the point where nobody can have a rational discussion about anything. It's I was discussing, if everybody would get politics out of um if everybody would get politics out of COVID and political judgments out of COVID, I think we could get something solved pretty quickly. And then Stu made an interesting comment about how we've all say again what you said about having a
We all
cerebral
kind
discussion.
of we all discuss things now on a reptilian brain level. Right?
Mhm.
It is all this natural fight or flight response that we're having versus an actual cerebral discussion.
Yeah.
And politics has ruined civics. It also has ruined public health, evidently, because that's
It's also just ruined relationships and ruined families and ruined friendships and ruined everything. And I was saying that if we could get the political discussion out of COVID and everybody could just get together and talk like normal grown-ups, we could probably get this figured out pretty fast. But as soon as you say anything, instead of agreeing or disagreeing with whatever, you immediately get attacked based on a partisan thing rather than any other thing. Because I have a feeling that there's what the left thinks, what the right thinks, and then there's the truth somewhere in the middle. And the truth never really lies ever on one extreme side or the other. Rarely, if ever, is that the case.
Fun times, Jim. Fun times.
So the one thing that I am a little concerned about is the stuff that I'm reading that says that, we talked about this week before last. What should you do if they lock us down again? And top of our list was toilet paper. So toilet paper and coffee. So I have laid in toilet paper and coffee supplies. So if I don't buy some food at some point, I'm going to be well caffeinated and eating toilet paper. It's high in fiber, but I think that it's here. This is the thing. We got to figure out how to live with it. It's never going to go away.
So we'll be having flu shots with COVID boosters, and it's just the way it's going to work.
I'll have a flu shot with a COVID chaser. Flu shot with a COVID chaser.
The way it is.
A little bit and when you get over 55, then it'll have with a side shingles vaccine in there too. I had shingles. I wish I'd had a shingles vaccine. I mean, shingles sucks, man.
You wish a lot.
Yeah, shingles sucks so bad you would wish that on your worst enemy. That old thing, if I wouldn't wish that on my oh hell yeah. Oh, I hope I get it twice. So there you go.
That's a good one.
Hey, what's up, Carlin? All right, so
we're talking. I got a good topic for us. We've blown this one off 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, excuse. Well, we weren't here for 2 weeks. How the hell are we going to blow it off for 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, good point. No, there was something else we did that you popped up on me, and I've been wanting to do this one because it's so good.
Okay, well, I'll be quiet. What is it?
The topic is really good. Well, give me a second because I got to pull it up again.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. I got it right here. So, this one is all about Gary Halbert Strikes Again. That's the title of this one.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to say, who's Gary Halbert? If you don't know who Gary Halbert is, I didn't know who Gary Halbert was until I met Jim Edwards, who had a Gary Halbert direct response headline wizard. And I was using it a couple of times. I'm like, damn, Gary hits hard. So I enjoy Gary Halbert's ideas that pop out of the wizard that you have on the Jim Edwards Method Premium side. One of my favorites is, have you ever seen a Spec Ops candidate cry? That's a good one. That's a good little hook. That one did really well.
That's still very good.
Still does well. So anyway, I was figuring maybe we could walk through the Gary Halbert direct response headline wizard and maybe challenge people who or on the Jim Edwards Method Premium to do a couple of his, titles and headlines for article posts or blog posts or, just social media posts or something like that. And now that it's avatar enabled, your work is even cut by 2/3. You don't even have to do anything. It's such a good wizard. In fact, I have an article that I wrote last week that I titled, let's see, I titled this one. This was a good one. Not knowing the fine line between mental toughness and stupidity may be dangerous to your health and future plans.
That's really good. You texted me that. I was like, damn.
Gary because I texted it to you. I said, look what Gary Halbert did for me.
Gary Halbert strikes again. Yes. That's really good. And the reason that's good is because it plays on emotion, and it also it's very curiosity driven. It's like, holy crap, how is this going to impact me? So for those of you who don't know, Gary Halbert is really, in my opinion, is the godfather of late 20th, early 21st century copy. You had other guys like Claude Hopkins and Eugene Schwartz and David Ogilvy and others big in the early middle part of the 20th century. But Gary was like the OG as far as just hit him hammer. He sold stuff. And so just say hi to everybody real quick. Hey, Carlin. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Denise. Hey, Leslie. Everybody wants to say hi. Give us a like, a love, or a mad symbol. We don't care, but we just want to know you're here. So Gary Halbert, I just have always loved his stuff. So one day I said, let me go collect up as many of Gary's favorite headline formulas as I could. So I went through, what's up, Neil? I went through and I just looked at sales letter after sales letter, swipe file after swipe file, books, everything I could get my hand on. And I found 84 of them and 84 templates, and then turned them into this wizard. And so now it is avatar enabled. So let's load one. Let's do 7-day ebook one. So we're going to load up. So it just loads everything from the avatar, and then you've got a few things that they don't have in there. So I think I've used this though. So let me see if I can just load one. Nah, we'll do this real quick. We load the avatar. So let's change this to
what's the question it's asking?
It's what is your ideal customer's number one most important ideal area of focus? So my ideal customer's number one area of focus is, now in my avatar, I had it as fast book creation, but maybe a different way I want to do this is, Neil says, you explain this, dude. It says, I'm new to the term avatar enabled. What does that mean, please?
Yes, well, he just pushed a button and he made an avatar on a different wizard, and now all the information of his ideal customer is able to be put into, all that information is able to be put into other wizards, which saves you probably 50 to 75% of the time it takes to fill out the entire list, which even then it's not a lot,
right?
Compared to writing your own sales copy, but it saves you even more.
Right. So this is the avatar for 7-day ebook, and so I entered in all their hot buttons and everything. And so now when I come to this wizard, Gary Halbert, I can load that avatar, and it loads in a bunch of the variables. And on some wizards, it'll load what's the best avatar maker. The only avatar maker is available through me. The best one is mine, because it's the only one there is that works with any of these scripts. The cool thing is that you can export this avatar, and this same avatar will work on funnel scripts, author wizards, Jim Edwards Method Premium, traffic secret scripts, Build My Webinar scripts, and other stuff. So
I even wrote an article with my avatar. All the information it spit out, I turned it into an article that, are you my ideal customer?
Right. Which really kind of pissed me off when Stu did that, because I was like, oh crap, I didn't know you could do that. And Stu's always used, that's not the way you're supposed to use that, but it worked. And
that was great. Is this, tell me, is this you? Right. It really hits home.
Okay, so we'll just leave this fast book creation. Who's your target? Who's your target audience? Entrepreneur, professional. Target audience, author, entrepreneurs, professionals. What is an action your target audience typically engages in or wants to do? Pick a book topic. So this one, I'm going to change this to my target audience typically does or wants to have massive credibility with your target audience. But have instant credibility with your target audience. What's number one payoff they really want is enjoy the prestige of being a real author. What is the number one payoff your audience wants in the present tense? Same thing. How fast? 7 days. I want to be a legitimate book author, legitimate book authors. Who or what's usual web paper get results? Most people believe that you have to write, here we go. Chain yourself to the keyboard for weeks or months. Enemy is a traditional publisher. Plural is traditional publishers. What's the thing I want to send them to is 7-day ebook. And what's typical expense they don't have to pay for and aren't happy about it? Hiring a ghostwriter. All right, so let's hit build on this and let's see what Gary has. To people who want to have instant credibility with their target audience but can't get started. That doesn't suck. Let's clear the clip bin. We'll add a few of these. I could change this. 9 fun, easy ways to enjoy the prestige of being a real author in 7 days. Dude, that's good. Using a traditional publisher may be dangerous to your wealth. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It is. Let's just sell millions of copies.
The most expensive fast book creation mistake of your life. The most I would alter them. New 7-day ebook version 3.0 tested by legitimate book authors with amazing results. I like that. Let's see. The ugly truth about fast book creation. I like that. How to have instant credibility with your target audience and get rich. Now, that's for the right audience. That could be really good for somebody in Facebook. The Facebook ad Nazis, not so much.
Yeah,
but, on a web page or in a solo ad or an ad, that. The amazing secret of a top legitimate book author who doesn't believe you have to chain yourself to the keyboard for weeks or months. That's got possibilities. That one, you could play with that a little bit.
Subtitle?
Yeah. Ooh, good, Stu. Good. If you can click a mouse, you can lick your fast book creation problems. Enjoy the prestige of being a real author. Like, so, let's see. Who else wants to enjoy the prestige of being a real author in half the time? Come on. And that could change that in 1/10 the time.
Yeah, that's
great. Mint.
Or in 7 days.
Or in 7 days. Who else wants to enjoy the prestige of being a real author in just 7 days? I got to drop something.
Write it down.
I grabbed it, but dude, that's mint. Man, that is mint. Who else wants to enjoy the prestige of being a real author in just 7 days? Oh my God, that's good. I got to write that down because that needs, we've been testing headlines on on this other version where we're going after professionals.
I love that one.
Yeah, I like that. Who else wants to enjoy the prestige of being a real author in just 7 days? Yeah, I like that. Okay. That was good, Stu.
That's one of my favorites. And I'll tell you what, every article I write, I get a Gary Halbert headline title.
And then we got them all listed down here, so you don't have to just keep whacking that thing. 9 quickest ways to enjoy the prestige of being a real author. I just changed that. 5 costly mistakes in fast book creation. How many are you making right now? Okay, so that was good. That was real good, Stu. So for those of you who are not members of the Jim Edwards Method Premium, you can join at the JimEdwardsMethod.com/join Jim, I believe. How's that for a really, 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 really crappy call to action? It's like, I think you can go here. Yeah, here you go. Just click the thing on the front. And this will tell you all about it. So we've got, I don't even know how many wizards we got. We got 69 wizards. Woohoo! And we got all my vault training. We got the stuff from the Net Reporter. You get all the True Life Success Lesson stuff. You get everything that Stu and I did in the DIY Media Marketing Academy. Get instant access to the 7-day ebook workshop. You get all this stuff, and right now you can still join for just $97 or $9.97 for a whole year. And we do all kinds of amazing things in there. So, all right. Well, that was fun.
Nah, man, that's great.
So let me ask you guys a question who are here. Neil says, so is this very similar to funnel hacking, but for copy? So this is I have all the stuff inside of Funnel Scripts, which is for sales copy. And then the Jim Edwards Method is for content creation and all that good stuff. Content marketing is the big thing. There's a little bit of overlap, but not much. So cool. Well, do we want to jump over into the podcast, or do we want to talk about something else?
I do, but real quick, I want to share the group and you with something I learned while you were gone. It was very productive.
Okay.
And it's TikTok. So another social media platform. If you're not familiar with it, you can post 3-minute videos on there and talk about whatever you want. I mean, there are people out there actually making a lot of money on TikTok. Just doing silly things. But, I have figured out a way to use it as a tool for when people send me video submissions of them swimming. I do it, and there's a voiceover button right there inside the app that I just push a voiceover, and it puts my voice on them swimming, telling them what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, post it right up there with some short little bit of comments. Boom. It works really well. In fact, I can share my screen with you if you want to see it.
Absolutely.
See what it looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is how all kinds of stuff normally starts.
Let's see. What do you see, Jim?
I see your TikTok.
Okay, good. So this is TikTok. It's the same address as my Instagram. And it is just nothing but me. And I put it up probably about 6 days ago.
Oh, wow.
It's just me posting some swim videos in here.
Now, are you posting this through the browser or through your phone?
Through my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real easy. This is just the desktop version of it. But it's just me talking to people about their swim strokes. They submit these. Another thing that I want to show you guys too, if you ever have a little social media area where it says bio, consider getting one of these. It's called a Linktree. And if you're not familiar with Linktree, what it does is it just sets you up on this little page that people can find all your stuff in one shot. So they got my website, got the CSS videos, one of my favorite articles, Learn How to Swim, Personalized Coaching, my podcast, Spec Ops research article that I wrote. And it's just a real quick way for you to put all of this stuff into a very short bio region that, obviously you wouldn't have enough room to put all this in there. So it's called Linktree.
Is that now how is that different than just making a page like that on your own website?
I guess you could do that.
Okay.
Too. This doesn't cost anything. So
okay.
I'm not sure how they make money, but yeah, I didn't have to pay for this. I think there are other versions that you can put videos in it and pay for it or something like that. But yeah, you can do that as well. Definitely.
Do you so do they have anything in there, going back to that TikTok thing, do they have anything in there? Can you go back to it real quick and show it?
Yeah.
And I just, because I haven't done that much with TikTok because I haven't been able to figure it out. Nancy's doing stuff, but is there, you know how like on LinkedIn or Twitter stuff, you get a 100 and I don't know how many characters bio or something that you can show? That Stu Smith Fitness, Tactical Fitness, Swim Training, Military Spec Ops, is that
all I can put on there.
Okay, so that's your...
Yeah, you get 80 characters.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. So 80 character bio.
Right there. But, I mean, even these comment sections here, you get about the same amount.
Okay. Because what I was thinking was on that bio thing, that would be a good place for using the script that we have, the What I Do in One Sentence Wizard. Would be a good spot for that.
Good point.
But again, even with that, you got to really dial it in. But that would be
I think I'll do that. I'll do that right as when we're done here today. So,
just a thought. I mean, it'd be worth a thing because it's about you instead of about them.
Yeah, I love that idea.
So cool. All right. Well, thank you for sharing, Stu. Everybody, class, please tell Stu thank you. Neil says, is Stu your personal trainer you talk about in your book? Stu is my coach. He's not a personal trainer, comes and reads the workout to you and says, do this, and looks at their watch and their phone while checking their email while you're sweating. Stu is my coach and my friend. And yes, he is the person I talk about, the guy that I hired to help me. But I mean, a coach tells you and shows you what to do. A personal trainer is a babysitter. That's true. And if you become dependent on a coach, that's one thing, but becoming dependent on a personal trainer means you don't. No, Neil, I'm just expanding. It's not corrected. But I went through 3 different personal trainers before I realized that I needed to be accountable to myself. Once I was accountable to myself rather than somebody else, because the personal trainers, your average personal trainer will flip out, wig out, and pull out. They don't show up, and then you don't do your workout. Everything goes to hell, and you're subject to the whims and whimsies of somebody who is doing this most likely because he couldn't do anything else. I know that sounds terrible, but it's true. That's the average personal trainer that you're going to meet at the Y or Snap Fitness or something like that. Now, there are some personal trainers that are insanely cool, but they're more coaches than babysitters. They're gonna motivate you. They're gonna know what you need to do. They're not there just to read the workout to you. So, Stu's job as a coach, at least for people who are serious about getting fit, is I will figure out what you need to do. I will send you workouts. And if you don't do them, I won't send you any more workouts. And if you have questions, you can call me, text me, email me at any time. and I'm here to help you be successful, but I can't do the exercises for you. And so I've learned a lot about coaching from Stu. What the hell are you doing, man? I'm saying nice shit about you, and you got audio going in the background.
Yep. Sorry.
It's still going.
I know. I can't turn it off.
Anyway, Stu's some guy that sends me a piece of paper once a week, and I wiggle around on the ground, and I've gotten tone muscles from it. Anyway, there you go. But that's the difference. And I think, just as an aside, that's where a lot of people get confused about coaching. They think, oh, I need to have a coach so I can have somebody to be accountable to. No. You're accountable to yourself. You're accountable to your family. You can never be accountable to somebody that you're paying money to. You'll be accountable to them because you choose to be accountable. They can't make you do anything. So that's kind of a pet peeve of mine that people expect. I'm going to hire a coach, so I'm an accountability partner. No, your accountability partner is staring back at you in the mirror in the morning. That's your accountability partner. So that's just me. So. Okay, well, that was real good. We've covered a lot in 26 and a half minutes. Well done.
You want to go into the podcast?
I think that would be absolutely delightful. And I have all sorts of stuff. Carlin says, I still remember when you delivered that message to me on the gym boat. Well, yes, I can get a little worked up on the gym boat. But hopefully I delivered it in a nice way, Carlin. At least I hope I did. So let's do a little intro here. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to today's podcast, Sales, Copywriting, Content Marketing Hacks with Jim Edwards. I'm your host, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu No Mercy Smith. And no, actually, Mr. Stu Never Quit Smith. And today, Stu, we are talking about something outrageously important to everyone who is here with us live or listening. Stu, what is our topic for today?
Well, I read this article of yours on the Jim Edwards Method.com and really good. And I read it really good. No, it is really good. It's a really good article.
Okay.
And I recommend everybody read it because we're going to talk about it, but you'll get even more or something more out of it, if you read some of the details in it. But
okay.
The article is titled, "The One Thing That Breaks You into the Big Leagues, Especially in Your Online Business." Do you remember this article?
I do. I think it was about high ticket products, which I was actually, believe it or not, absolute truth, I was having a conversation with my 11-year-old grandson yesterday about this very topic and other things related to copywriting.
Nice. Well, maybe we should do that. Let's hear that conversation you had with your grandson. And I think that'd be a good level of discussion for me to understand what you're talking about.
Okay. So we were actually going to look at a barn because we're going to be building a barn here on the property. I'm setting the stage. So drove 45 minutes to take a 10-minute tour of some other guy's barn with the guy who built it, and then 45 minutes back. So I told Eli he was going with me. And rather than tell him a funny story like when you came to visit a few years ago and I drove the kids to school and we told goofy stories, he's asking me about copywriting. He really wants to be a copywriter. He wants to learn how to sell stuff. So we were talking about urgency and scarcity and pain and pleasure and, solving problems and value and offers. And one of the things that I told him, we were talking about selling Girl Scout cookies. Not that he wants to sell Girl Scout cookies, but we were talking about the fact that Girl Scout cookies are a commodity that most parents end up selling. And so I said, if I was going to try and hit up all my friends to buy my kids Girl Scout cookies or Boy Scout, whatever, instead of trying to sell them one box at a time, I'd go out to all my friends or my customers and say, hey, look here. I'm going to make a tiered offer. All right. If you buy 10 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, you're going to get this. You're going to get access to a webinar. If you buy 50 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, you're going to get access to the webinar. Plus, you're going to get a replay. Plus, you're going to get a transcript. Plus, you're going to get this live Q&A session, group Q&A session with me. If you buy 200 boxes, you get the course, you get everything I just listed, plus you get 1 hour with me. Now, this normally sells for $2,000. And by the way, 200 boxes of Girl Scout cookies is only going to cost you $1,000. So this is 50% off what it would normally cost to be able to talk with me. And I'm not taking anybody right now. So the only way you can get this is by buying the cookies. And and then I said, okay, dude, now think about this. To sell, let's say you were the best salesperson in the world, and everybody you talked to would buy, if you were knocking on doors, and everybody you talked to would buy 2 boxes of cookies from you. So how many doors would you have to knock on in order to sell just 100 boxes of cookies? And he thought about it for a second, and he's like, you'd have to knock on 50 doors. I said, very good. Now, you're assuming that somebody's home at every house. Let's say only 1 out of 2 houses that you knock on has somebody that will actually answer the door. How many doors would you have to knock on in order to sell those 100 boxes of cookies? And he thought about it, and he said, 100. I said, you're right. So you have to knock on 100 doors to find 50 people to each buy 2 boxes of cookies. So now think about this. Let's say that only every third person you talk to actually wants cookies and has the money to pay for them. So in one of the 3 houses, they have money for cookies and they want cookies. Another house, they want cookies, but they have no money. And another house, they have money, but they don't want cookies. So only 1 out of every 3 is actually going to buy. So how many doors would you have to knock on? He's like, I don't know. I said, well, think about this. Okay, it's like we had to do it's like turned into this word problem going down 17. I said, you got 2 boxes, you need 50 sales, that's 100. Only 1 out of 2 answers, so that's times 2. That's going to be, that's going to be 100 houses, okay, to sell. To get to them, and then only 1 out of 3 is actually going to want them. So that's 300 houses. So which is smarter, to sell 100 boxes to 1 person by creating an amazing offer, or to knock on 300 friggin' doors trying to just sell an average of 2 boxes of cookies? Which one is smarter? Oh, dude, he's like, you sell the 100 boxes to 1 person. And I said, absolutely. That's what you want to do. That's why you have a funnel. That's why you have one-time offers. That's why you have all this stuff. Because if you really want to break into the big league, sure, it's great to sell a $30 ebook, but it's greater to sell a $3,000 product. To make $3,000, you have to sell 100 people a $30 ebook, or you sell 1 person a $3,000 coaching session or a $3,000 membership site. It is a lot easier to sell that if you have an amazing value proposition. So that's when we got into what we started just talking about, value, and what's the payoff. Knowing your audience, knowing exactly what they want, what is their result that they really, really want, what's the problem that they really, really want. And then we got into the discussion of problem, agitate, solve. And I said, do you know what agitate means? He said, no. I said, it means to make worse. Did you know that an agitator is someone who is usually hired to go into a crowd, stir them up, and cause a riot? Did you know that that's an agitator? He said, no. I said, yeah. So agitate means to stir up the negative feelings so that people No, and this is a subset of, we started talking about the 5 problem, the 5 questions you always got to ask. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? How do you solve it? What makes your solution unique? And how are you going to put your sales message in front of that target audience? If you can't answer all 5 of those questions, you're screwed. So what you got to also do is make that problem worse. That when it comes to the problem, the people have to know they have a problem. They want to solve it, and they have the money to pay for a solution. And it's urgent enough and pressing enough that they actually will pay money. They're actively looking for a solution. Or when the problem is brought to their attention is made worse, they're like, damn, I got to take care of this right now. So this is a smart little dude too, because he said, yeah, like a problem like when you're hungry and Domino's. I said, okay, what do you, because I didn't see his little 11-year-old logic. He said, well, when you're hungry and Domino's says they'll have the pizza there in 30 minutes or less, that's a great offer, and the value's enough that you'll pay $15. I said, do you have $15? He says, I got $300 in my bank. I said, you go, boy. See, his goal, he wants to make $1 million before he's 16. Damn, he wants to make $1 million because he hears me talking about, this, because I tell him what goes on with our business, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we're doing. He says, I just got to figure out my offer, Grandpa. I just got to figure out what my deal is. That's what his whole thing is. Man. What can he sell?
I'm shocked at, let me just say, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm shocked at some of the money some of these kids on TikTok and Instagram, YouTube are making.
Yeah.
I mean, for you monetized videos on TikTok and YouTube, there's a kid, this black kid, I'm not sure, I think he's from France. And all he does is does this. He doesn't say anything. He gives like this silly face. And like somebody does something really hard, and then he finds an easier way to do it, and he goes, right? He has 100 million followers on TikTok.
Oh my God.
And he makes over $100,000 a month.
Wow.
From monetized videos.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? And all he does is this.
Well, hell, I can do that, and I'll take half that. I mean, you guys do that together, and we make twice as much.
It's crazy.
And we were talking about the problems, and the kid, he made a great point, and I wanted to bring it home, because everybody, when they're trying to instill urgency and pain, is they use external stuff like time limited bonuses, deadlines, and things like that. Stuff that once that's passed, it's over. But Eli says, whenever somebody's hungry, that's a great offer. And in my mind, I was like, holy crap. Because the key to having a great offer is not only to have so much massive value that people say, I got to buy that before they either raise the price or change their mind or whatever, but also the reason to buy now, if it's internal, literally it's hunger is inside. And if the motivation to buy is internal, like I have to buy this, I need this and I need it now. And I don't give a crap about, any of this other stuff. I need this, I need it now. When you can dial in the message to that level, that's when you have a truly amazing evergreen offer that this is the kind of thing that can pay you for decades with updating and, just with, keeping up with the times and not having your website look like it was from 1996. But that's the thing. That is the Anyway, that was the conversation I had with the kid. It was just an amazing experience with him for about 40 minutes, just seeing how intrinsically he understands this stuff, and he's been reading my book, and he's I wish in some ways, dude, I wish I was 11 years old again. Even knowing all the crap that everything, I wish I was 11 years old, knowing what I know now, man. But by 16, man, I would be a pimp. Even before then, I'd have an Escalade or something with some dude driving me around. I'd have former Navy SEALs as my bodyguards and stuff riding on the outside of I'd just be this, it would be amazing. So it's probably best I didn't.
Hey, Carolyn just had a great idea. Mr. Pickles on TikTok.
Carlin.
Oh, Carlin. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Pickles. Good call.
Yeah.
Just talk about dumb stuff. You got to play around with TikTok.
Dumb stuff? What, you think I'm just some gimmick? I'm not like a legitimate person. I don't have feelings or deep thoughts. Screw you, Steve Smith.
The problem is that okay, but let's talk about that for a second. Yes, I could do that. But the problem with that is that I don't control that. I mean, that's the Mr. Pickles is a Snapchat lens. It's that could be duplicated. You know what I mean? It could be ripped off. But that kid with his face is like, you know, no one can take that. Kid's got his mug and that's what he does his deal. So I got to find my own stickity stick. Well, somebody said I could be like a unicorn.
Whisper, hey, it's Mr. Unicorn. You can do anything you want. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're sparkly inside. And then I would feel really weird, and that would be done quick.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be a TikTok star, Stu. Okay. I really don't.
Well, I don't think I will either. I'm just doing videos, voiceovers, doing swimming. You know, it works for me. That's my niche.
Yeah.
I'm going to coach swimming on TikTok.
No,
and it's not even really good swimming. It is non-swimmers trying to swim and go into spec ops. You know,
Adam, you need kind of the TikTok twist though. It's like, help, my swimming sucks. It's like I'm gonna work in the mess hall the rest of my life. I mean, you got to have some kind of a thing. That's true, Carlin. Friday Night SmackDown with Mr. Pickles.
Yeah.
I just need a SmackDown wizard. You know how people interrupt you when you're trying to interrupt them? Please stop talking while I'm interrupting you. That's so rude. You know? I'll tell you, I was at the grocery store the other day and some little old lady was looking at the potato chips and I said, hey, little old lady. And she got upset. I called her a lady. Come on. So anyway, life is hard if you're a pickle. 8 inches long though.
Who knows?
You're a mess. You'd be perfect on TikTok. That's all the kind of stuff that's on there.
I'll do
every now and then, though, you get some good like life hacks. You can find some good life hack pages. Those are pretty good too.
You know what I like are those. I like them, but I don't like them. And it's those cooking videos where they, you know, it's sped up and they're like, you know, cutting up the onions and the garlic and the this and that, and then you do this and that and that and that and this, and then they put the thing together, and in 3.5 minutes they have a beautiful enchilada. And then it's like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then there's shit everywhere in the kitchen. It doesn't look like their thing. Their thing looked amazing. And my thing, after 3 hours instead of 3 minutes, looks like the dog did it.
Well, I will tell you this. There are TikTok pages that make fun of those kind of TikTok pages and do it themselves. And it's a complete disaster.
Okay.
Right? You know, like I'm trying to be this guy, but this is my reality. And they do well too. It's crazy.
Maybe
world.
what I could do is I get a whole bunch of those old, remember on TV in the 80s, the aerobics videos with the chicks in those really small things. I could have Mr.
And dude,
get in shape with Mr. Pickles. Woo! Go, baby! Let's get, I could be really dirty. No?
Yeah, you could be.
I don't know.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
Just brainstorming, man. I'm just brainstorming.
Leotard.
Mr. Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right, so Jim, have we discussed a little bit about what we were going to talk about in the?
I don't know. What the hell were we going to talk about?
Business into the big leagues. You need a big ticket product.
I just explained how I explained to an 11-year-old why you need a big ticket product. Everybody needs a big ticket product. Everybody, and I'm guilty right now of not having it. But I'm going to change that in the next couple of months.
Well, here's a question. Should I only sell high ticket products?
I think it depends on what is your marketing, what is your marketing method. I will tell you, I am getting ready to do a giant project with the John Maxwell organization, John Maxwell team, and to my knowledge, they have two things that they sell. They sell John's books, which he's written. I think he's written like 100 books. And they sell his books, and then they sell a $5,000 certification program. That's pretty much what they do. Everybody finds out, and then he speaks. He also has a team of people, his certified trainers, that go around and teach his stuff. But it's basically, you got small ticket front end, big ticket back end, not a whole, I mean, they got a couple conferences and other stuff that you can go to, but pretty much this is the feeder stuff, and then here's the big thing.
But in your article, you call this a value ladder?
Yes.
Explain some other ideas for value ladders.
So your typical value ladder is think, would from the standpoint of, here, let me fire up the whiteboard, Stu.
Okay.
And I'll draw some pretty pictures. And I'll show you what I'm thinking about. So typically your value ladder is kind of the opposite of a funnel. So if you think about the funnel, you're feeding people in at the top with some sort of a product. Let's just use, you don't have to do it this way, but let's say you're doing like a $29 ebook. And so then you might have some OTOs and some other stuff where well, no, you know what? We'll use my example of my copywriting secrets book. So we do shipping and handling for the book. Then we immediately make an offer for something called Sales Story Secrets, which is, I believe it's $97. No, that's not true. We have the shipping and handling, and then we have the bump for the audio book that Stu and I recorded. Then you get Sales Story Secrets. I think it's either 97 or 197. I don't remember what. And then we have the offer for funnel scripts, where we'll credit you what you just paid for this. And so I think for an extra $597. So the total comes out to, I think, $797. And then they're in. So the value ladder, if you think of it this way, is when you buy stuff from me, and typically, at least for me, the level of that's wrong, and I just can't draw for schnikes today. But if you think about it like it was a chart, all right. So if this is price going up this way, and if this is time or interaction going this way. All right, so down here you got something for free, a free something. Then maybe you have a $29 ebook. You got a $129 home study course or something like that, $197. Then maybe you get into an online course, like a one-day thing or a challenge or something like that. Let's say maybe you get into $497. This is where they start getting some time and some actual interaction, some live Q&A with you. And then maybe you do a live event where they come to you either online or, live events now. It's a lot easier to do stuff online. But let's say, your ticket's between $997 and $39.97. So now we work our way up, and you might have group coaching where that might be, between $1,000 and $2,000 a month, or whatever makes sense for your audience. And then you might have one-on-one coaching where somebody could pay, anywhere between $10K and $50K to be able to work with you individually. So that's a value ladder. Now, one thing that a lot of people would think is that they have to start here. It's like the value ladder. It's like you have to start at the bottom to be able to climb the value ladder all the way to the top. And that is a mistake that I made early on, thinking that I had to pull people, first you had to buy this, then you had to buy this, then you had to buy this, then you had to buy this, only could you get up here. And then a funny thing happened on the way to the gym boat.
Mhm.
I decided to do a cruise, and a cruise workshop. At the first time we did it was 5 days, and I think it was $3,000. It wasn't that expensive. And so we had 18 people sign up, and we went on a cruise. And I taught stuff, and I was teaching about having your funnel with ebooks and things like that. And I said, okay, well, let's see real quick. Everybody that the first thing you ever bought from me was an ebook, one of my ebooks, raise your hand. Only about half the people raised their hand. I said, huh. Okay, and then those of you, okay, so how many of you bought my Home Study course? All the people that had bought the ebook raised their hand too. And a third of the audience never raised their hand. And I was just kind of like, what are you doing here? How'd you even get here? And they all basically said, in effect, I've been on your list. I like your stuff. And this is the first thing that you offered that I wanted. I was like, crap. So I'm here thinking that I won't even tell anybody about this higher end stuff until they've gotten in on the other stuff. And so that's when and then all those people bought. I offered just looking back, just dumb. I offered for $500 a month. I did a coaching thing where you got a half an hour with me every month, plus a group thing, plus access to all my stuff. I mean, I wouldn't sell that for less than $2,000 a month now. I even had one of the students say, I was telling somebody you're doing that for $500 a month. They could not believe that I was getting to talk to you one-on-one for $500 a month. I said, yeah, I don't believe it either. So my point is that you don't have to start with the low stuff and build out the entire value ladder. There are people that only do the high-end stuff. Remember when we talked earlier, I don't remember if it was on the pre-show or talking about my grandson, but the 5 questions, what problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? How do you solve it? What makes your solution unique? And how and where are you going to get your message in front of these people? Some people are going to, based on the problem that you're solving, if you tried to offer them a $29 ebook, they would laugh in your face. They would literally be like, was I showing you my screen while I was drawing, or was I not?
Yeah, you
okay.
were.
Thank you, God. I was like, wow. They would laugh in your face. How are you going to teach me how to do this? Or how are you going to solve this problem for $29? No, it's not going to happen. And then what happens though, is in some cases, you can write a book on it, becomes your manifesto. It's your framework. This is, I'm going through a lot of this now. I had a company approach me and they're like, hey, we want to teach this to people. We want to give them as the framework. And then we want to send them to you to have you expand on it and teach the different stuff. It's going to be huge. And so sometimes you just got to lay it out in the framework, and other people say, you know what, I know I could read the book, but I want to come to a class. I want to meet you. I want to be able to ask you questions. And then other people say, you know what, I could read the book. I've read the book. I want you to do it for me. Or I want you to help me with it. I want to do it. And then I want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. And as you, again, back to this thing, as the amount of time that you're personally giving them, or the intensity of it increases, then the price is going to go up. And that's just how it works. In fact, if it didn't go up, people would not value it. They wouldn't value it if you weren't charging more. So, that answer your question?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So you might say, well, why would somebody pay me? I don't do something that someone would pay me $10,000 for. Okay, well, then find an angle or find something. There's one of the things you always got to look at with what we do is there's 2 parts to what we do. It's what we do and how we do it. So Stu might only be able to get $20 or $30 for a workout book for from an 18-year-old kid that's what they've got. I'm going to buy a book. I'm going to learn how to do this. Whereas somebody else, Stu, could charge them $20,000 to help them if they were in the fitness business, or like on your podcast, I've heard you talking to people like that. What was the guy? He used to be at the National Strength and Conditioning thing, and then he went to some tactical place for
yes. Yeah.
So that guy, you might consult with somebody like that for $20,000 or $30,000 to teach them how to get more tactical coaching clients, or how to get more tactical people, tactical coaches. Yeah. Actually, I mean, it's a whole different ball game. There's people who will pay you to teach them what you're doing, and there are people who will pay you a lot more money to teach them how you're doing what you do in the business. So, example of those TikTokers. Would I pay somebody $10,000 to teach me how they were making $100,000 a month on TikTok? I just might. I really just might. And then for real, if I believed that they really could explain it, because some of those people have no idea what they subconsciously do what they do, and they're successful at it, and they couldn't teach anybody how to do it. It's not replicatable. Some people want more of you. So like the gym boat, I would say a major factor for the vast majority of people, besides the learning and the one to come on the gym boat, they want to come on the gym boat so that they can hang with me to a certain degree. We hang out. I mean, we were walking around in St. Thomas on the last one. We saw some chickens, and somebody said, "Hey, Jim, it's chickens. Let's do letting the chickens out with Jim." So I said, "Okay, give me a topic." And somebody shouted out a topic. I got on my phone. I did a letting the chickens out with Jim in a parking lot in St. Thomas. And everybody was like, "Holy crap. I just saw Jim do it. And that's something I could do." So it's, being able to hang with you and having that access is there. So,
Hey, you know what you can do also? You can do 3-minute videos. Like I said, you can do Doc Talk on TikTok. Do you like that?
I like it. I like that. Doc Talk on TikTok. Yeah. Doc Talk, and somewhere along there, I might, might get confused that with one of my chicken videos, and it's Cock Talk on TikTok. I mean, you just never know what could happen.
Funny you say that. There is a guy who's a urologist, and he does Dick Doc on TikTok.
Okay.
No kidding. And he's got millions of followers, or at least several 100,000.
I have noticed that
he talks about men's issues.
I've noticed that TikTok appeals to the more base level of humanity.
It's actually quite cerebral. It's, you learn about men's issues.
I understand that, but the hook is rather basic. That's what I'm saying. TikTok on TikTok, it gets down to it. That's a hook.
That's reptilian brain.
Stroking the unicorn's horn on TikTok. Natural horn enhancement with sparkles. How big is your okay?
How big is your pickle?
Salty with Mr. Pickles. So, all right. Well, I think that's enough.
Good day.
So, this is cool. One more log on Pete says. What the hell's that? What is one more log on Pete? I don't know what that is. I think it's Pete. But Pete said, "I'm looking for the JMT offer. I've been a certified trainer for 3 years." That's cool. Yeah, I'm, and everybody who is in the Jim Edwards Method Premium, hang on, because a large portion of what we do with the JMT thing, just hang loose on that. I've got an announcement. I'll have an announcement within the Jim Edwards Method Premium about what we're doing there. So, but yeah, we're really, this is big, man. I mean, you've had a lot of people over the last year approaching you about doing big stuff outside, and just people all the things that we've been doing are really starting to pay off, and we're growing outside of our little fishbowl. We're jumping into a bigger aquarium in a lot of ways. We haven't really talked about that, but it's big.
Discussion.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give us a like, give us a something, just to let us know that you're paying attention. And shall we end with something fun, some fun music or something, or shall we just end it? It's up to you, Stu.
I say whatever we do, Mr. Pickles gives us a little rant to shut it down. Or dances to music. I don't care.
Okay.
Mr. Pickles should wrap it up.
Mr. Pickles, we're going to do Mr. Pickles' word of the day. Give me a word. Give me a word, and we're going to do Mr. Pickles' word of the day. Just give me a word, dude.
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Pickles here, and the word of the day is fantabulous. Now, when most pickles think of the word fantabulous, they think of being cut in half and put on a plate with July 4th hot dogs and hamburgers. When I think of fantabulous, I think of juicy, salty, crispy, thick pickles that just make your mouth water when you think of them. Imagine how awesome it would feel to put me in your mouth. That's right. So when you think of fantabulous, you think of Mr. Pickles. So what's your action item? I want you to grab me firmly while in the jar. I want you to place me in your mouth and savor the saltiness of Mr. Pickles. And tell your friends, because Mr. Pickles can satisfy more than just you. Everybody have a great day. That was our word of the day. Fantabulous. Bye-bye, everybody.